Welcome, people, to the Ask Domnat show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. My name is Dominic Pereira, but you might know me as Ask Domnat, hence why I am here. I am trying to make this show better for you guys. Every day that you guys watch this show, you're going to see some sort of improvement. Today's improvement is, look, I have flashcards. That way I look like I'm prepared and I know what I'm talking about. I only have one word on this flashcard, and that is a very important word. You can't see it until we go through our rundown. And what is the rundown that we're going through today? February 25th rundown, guys. It's going to be an amazing show. 2026 State of the Union. Did you watch it? Are you that informed? Do you care? Did you watch the State of the Union? I'll tell you that we're going to go through the highlights. There are certain things that you didn't need to know. I did it so that you don't have to. The Pentagon gives Anthropic an ultimatum. Guys, if you are using AI, if you are in the AI space, there is something huge that's going on right now that people aren't even talking about. There is only a few people. It's more than just if you're in the AI space. If you're a citizen of this country, and you like privacy, oh boy, there is something coming down the pipeline. Be careful what you tell AI moving forward. I'm going to go over it. And then the crazy thing is, I just used this AI model. I put in a grant yesterday for, I don't want to lie to you, let me remember what it is. I think it was $20-something thousand using an AI model. And actually, I recorded it. I went over it with my group, and I'm going to show you how you guys can do it too. Look, I'll show you more paperwork. This right here is, you can't zoom into it, but this right here is, I got what, $10,000 grant right here. Then I got another one for high tunnels. So using my AI models, sweeping up some grants, people, and I'm showing you how to do it in the Ask Domnat All Access community. It is in there. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. 2026 State of the Union. Let's get into it. Look at that guy. Menacing. I love it. Good for him. Whoever his makeup person is did a good job on this photo. Maybe not so great on the State of the Union. But what did we take away from it? Well, let's play into some of the highlights, right?
Speaker, the President of the United States.
Now, you would think that they would get somebody fitter. Here's the crazy thing about this, right? He started Here's the crazy thing, guys. He started at 9/11 yesterday, 9/11 Eastern time. I don't know if that has any significance to anybody. If you are part of the conspiracy truth sector there, 9/11 is a very interesting time to kill some time on stage while people clap before you start. Now, here's the other thing. If you are into Koshi or Poly markets, we're going to be doing a show about it and all the fraud. And if you're basically throwing away money. But did you bet on what time this guy was going to start? Or did you bet on anything State of the Union related yesterday? Let's go.
In 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence.
Great. I'm going to pause it right there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to let it play, but you don't need to hear it. But 250 years, it is a short time for a country to do so much influence, right? Like we've influenced so much of human history in 250 years. If you take really everything that humans have done for the first 2,500 years, you can't even come close. I mean, the pyramids came close. Maybe. We don't know. I don't even know if those were humans. Well, we do. They were in Mexico too, and those were definitely humans. Those guys work. So whatever. The last 250 years has been, it depends on what side of the U.S. passport you've been on, if it's been good or bad. But all right, so he's congratulating himself on 250 years of a country. There was a lot of standing and clapping. I couldn't stand it. People were just stand up, stand up. I'm like, just sit down and watch.
bigger than ever, and to prove that point, here with
Well,
American industry will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. You're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Okay, guys. All right. I know this is a State of the Union. It's a political thing. You're watching it for politics. You're watching it for the economy. You're watching it to see how the United States is doing. It's obviously not the same as when we started doing this, like 250 years ago, I guess. But do you feel that the U.S. hockey team has an effect on your life? As a matter of fact, if you're watching this and you are anywhere but like Iowa or something, I will give you $20 if you can name me 3 people on a U.S. hockey team. Honestly, I mean, this is, obviously gentlemen's agreement here. Don't Google it and don't Anthropic it, or else it will know you did it. But does anybody know? And this is no shade to the hockey team, but when you go and live your life, are you like, thank God we won gold at the Olympic hockey gold medals? Whatever. I don't know. But
these tariffs took in hundreds of billions of dollars.
We talked about tariffs. Guys, I'm just going to go through this. It's a 3-minute video.
And on a national security basis. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But when it comes to the...
I love that. All right. Here's one thing that people love about Donald Trump. I'm not even one side or the other, but here's one thing about it. Do you have the Supreme Court justices right there? They ruled against them 4 days ago, and he said that they are a disgrace to their families. He appointed, I think, 2 or 3 of them. And there's you are a disgrace to your family, and it's unfortunate, blah, 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 and I'm looking at you. Oh, that takes gusto. And I kind of like when people just say what they mean and mean what they say. Right? Like, there's no need to be polite and pleasant about it. You can tell me how you feel. And that's how he felt. So, disgrace. So he did talk about the tariffs and how he doesn't care what they said. He's going to do whatever he wants anyways. And if you voted for that, you're winning.
Corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota. I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance.
Okay, no more clapping, more standing up. War on fraud. The United States is always trying to get into a war on something. There is a war on drugs, war on poverty, war on terrorism, war on fraud, war. I mean, Jesus Christ, people. We just always got a war on something. More war. I mean, he is now the Secretary of War. So, wait, no. That's Pete Hegseth. So there's a war on fraud, but they're going after, man, if you're Somali, and I know some of y'all, stay low. No more fraud, I guess. If you're in Minnesota, just chill out. Go get a regular job for a while until things cool down, because the war on fraud is here. Or is this just, if you're from Minnesota, or I guess any country, any state, any city, I'm like, is it really that crazy? Or are these big corporations defrauding you more than any small community, right? Like, is it really that crazy, or are we looking for a scapegoat? You guys tell me.
Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. Tonight, I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, Homeland Security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow.
Okay, cool. Well, that's like your uncle going on, like, saying something about back when he was in Nam and there were Viet Congs everywhere, and then he talks about something random, right? Like, I have no idea what Homeland Security and snow have to do with each other, but I'll tell you what he was talking about there. Democrats at the present time have said, hey, we passed the entire U.S. budget except for the Department of Homeland Security, which ICE is under. they don't want to pass that budget until the ICE agrees to certain things. And you guys tell me hands up if you guys agree with these things. They're saying we're not going to pass the budget until there is stricter or ICE has to wear body cameras, right? Like everybody who's on ICE has to wear body cameras, like most police forces do now. And they can't use the masks. You got to be able, and they're basically saying if we are a state that is doing, or a country that is doing something that we don't want our citizens to know or public to know, are we much better than any, narco state? So should ICE, why they're just really trying to hold ICE to the same standards that your local police department is held to. And you guys tell me if that's good or bad. I actually don't have a problem with it. Shoot, why not? I can't just show up to work with a mask on. So why should everybody else? I don't know. Military, very different if you're overseas, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, technically, we're paying the taxes for these guys. It's kind of weird that now they're like, but you can't know who I am. And I don't think some of these guys are really qualified from some of the videos I've seen. So like they got let go at Walmart, one applied for ICE. I don't know. If you're at ICE, let me know how much they're paying, by the way.
There's been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God.
Yeah.
And a big part of that had to do with...
Let me freeze frame this right here before I get myself in trouble. But let me freeze frame it. Just go watch Candace Owens. Whatever your conspiracy truth is, and I never thought I'd hear myself say that, right? I'm not a Candace Owens fan per se, or hadn't been for a while. Neither have I been a Tucker Carlson fan for a while, but I don't like to pigeonhole myself into I hate this person or I love this person. No, I just want to hear what you're saying at the moment. And at the moment, Charlie Kirk's wife is doing pretty well since his death.
My great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind. For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a new America. The revolution that began in 17...
Okay, cool. So we're going to stop it there because then he goes into Iran. Guys, I know this is dragging on for a while. It was a long State of the Union. It was the longest one to date. It was like an hour and 45 minutes. He talks about Iran getting missiles to attack Europe. Iran's been threatening, death to America for a while. You guys let me know. Here is one thing I will say. We should have a whole episode about Iran because I have some mixed feelings about this. One is I support human life, period. And liberty, not just life, but liberty. What is the point of living if you are not free? And Iran, I think, does have a tyrannical and suppressive government. Do I want our tax dollars to go and overthrow that government? I don't know. Iran, they're saying, hey, Iran's been threatening to bomb America for the last 50 years. They've never done it. And Iran's saying, we've been angry. We've been just chanting stuff in the street, but everybody chants. That don't mean we want to get blown up. So, it's been 50 years and they haven't done it. So, will they really do it? And they don't even want nuclear weapons, according to them. But you can't just be killing protesters either, Iran. So that's where but we have to understand what we're doing, who we're doing it for. How does it help us? How does it help humanity as a whole? You can't just throw a new regime in there and expect that it's all going to be good. So that was kind of the State of the Union. He went on, blah, 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 more stuff. There was a couple, really just talked about how great the economy is doing. That wasn't in that highlight. If you guys are living in the real world, is the economy doing great for you? I'll tell you, for me, my stock have taken a hit. Maybe I'm just picking wrong. My ETFs, and I'm loaded on to Bitcoin. That's been taking a hit. A lot of countries are stacking up on gold, so I invested in gold. I'm just kind of diversified because there's a lot of instability right now, and but a lot of people aren't even in the stock market per se outside of your retirement plan. So Have you felt it in a grocery store? Is your life feeling a little bit better than it was last year or 2 years ago under Sleepy Joe, as he calls him? I mean, is this Trump economy hitting your table? For some it is, for some it's not. For the people in that room, I'm sure they're doing pretty well. But if you're watching this, you probably weren't in that room. All right, so let me see what's next. Well, somebody that was in that room. The Pentagon is considering labeling Anthropic a supply chain risk. Okay, this is so big that you guys have to keep up, right? Like, don't be idiots. Don't be stupid. Don't be willfully ignorant, which is the worst one of all, right? You could be dumb. That's just because you didn't get a chance to learn something. All right. But willfully ignorant is you knew you had to learn and you chose not to. Anthropic, there are, I would say, let me say 4, maybe. Let me name them. The big AI, large language models, whatever, but let's just call them the big AI companies, all right? You have ChatGPT, which is really open AI, but I'll use the, what's it called? Canonical name that people know. ChatGPT. You have Google Gemini. You have XAI or Grok, and then you have Anthropic. And all of these companies are the ones that are the backbone to all this AI stuff that you've been hearing. They are the ones that all these AI tools are pulling from. So they have a huge amount of influence, and the government's been using it. The government's been using these AI tools in all of their day-to-days. Now, all of these government tools had one wording in it where these AI companies say, hey, look, we want you guys to use this for the military, blah, 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 but you have to use it within the terms and conditions of, of rightful use. And what that, or responsible use. And responsible use means that you're not going to be deploying weapons to kill people without any human intervention. You're going to have some human that can really tell you, oh, this is not bueno. Like, AI got it wrong. And if you use AI, you'll know that it gets it wrong sometimes, right? Like, you'll ask for one thing and it'll give you something else. So it needs some sort of human intervention. Okay, great. Then the other one was, we also don't want you to use this to just spy on American citizens, right? Like, okay, don't spy on American citizens. You got to let them, you can use it lawfully, but you can't just use this carte blanche, which means with no guardrail. So all these AI tools, remember, they're trained on everything that humans have learned over the course of the last 25,000 years, or however many years you believe we've been here. Or at least the internet's been around. But they have guardrails. There is a reason why you can't say, teach me how to make an atomic weapon on ChatGPT, and it'll just buy this and buy that and put this together, whatever. There are guardrails. The government, Pete Hegseth of the military, said, we don't want those guardrails. We want you guys to take off those guardrails. And all of the other AI models, Grok, Google, OpenAI said, okay, we'll take it off. You guys can use it for whatever you want. But Anthropic, which is one of my favorites and that I use, and ironically will be covering how I used it recently to help me get some grants, said, no. The word, and The Verge has a great quote. The word any lawful use. This is on The Verge's article about this. Any lawful use, the military and Pete Hegseth wants to change the contract to say that. So any lawful use can be anything. The government is the one that creates the law, so they can say, oh, this is lawful. And that means they can spy on you. They can take all your data. They can change the model that they're controlling to do anything that they want without Anthropic even having any say in it. And Anthropic saying, no, we can't do that. We want guardrails, guys. We want you guys to be able to use it as kinetic strike. Kinetic strike means like rockets, right? Like there's other companies that use it to build their rockets, but we want you guys to, at the very least, have a human that can override that kinetic strike. The government said, we don't want those controls. Then the government is saying, if you don't do what we tell you, we will label you a supply chain risk. Now, why is this so big? Because if you're labeled a supply chain risk, that means that no government agency can use you. This is the first time that an American company has been on the precipice of being bordered a supply chain risk. Well, I think it's maybe there's a weird company out there, but this is the first big one. Usually it's like a foreign company that is really a agent for another country, right? And we are like, yeah, we're not going to put that China software on our servers. There's supply chain risk. Or if China or if Russia was the one that was building all the chassis and bodies for cars manufacturers, they're like, wait a minute, what if we go into war with Russia? We won't have any car manufacturers. Supply chain risk. But the problem that comes with that is that Anthropic is the only country, Anthropic is the only company that is right now classified as a class 6 classified AI system. So Anthropic is the only one that is right now able to do deep classified projects inside the US government. So even if you're working with the government and you're using AI, you have to use Anthropic. So AWS, Palantir, and Anduril, which is an autonomous AI company, they're all using Claude because they're the only one classified to work with the government at the highest level. Now, all of this came about, and guess who swept in? As Pete Hegseth was threatening Amodi or whatever, who was the CEO. That's what I had listed on my flashcard. Dario Amodei is how you pronounce it, I think. They were in talks with Elon Musk to start using Grok. It had signed an agreement to use Grok, the controversial AI model made by Elon Musk. So now, if you're using Grok, if you're using OpenAI, look, because Google signed, Grok signed. I'm going to try to find where it says all of those companies that signed. They are willing to take off all the safety guardrails, and with your data, with you're like whatever. Those Ring doorbells. Who's to say that they can't use them to see when you're walking? If you have a I have some smart TVs. My TVs are smart. They got little cameras, I guess. They got sensors to see when I walk by. My TV kind of turns on automatically. Who's to say that that's not watching me? Somebody's watching me. I'm feeling time. Whoa. What other? Who's to say if Apple signs, or now Apple's using maybe OpenAI's initiatives and Microsoft? Who's to say that they can't just tap into your phone? Everything that you write. Some of you guys are using AI like a therapist. Whoa. All of them thoughts, all your naughty thoughts going to the government. I keep mine in here and now here. If I'm thinking it, I'm saying it. And if I'm not saying it, I'm not thinking it. At least that's what I'm telling the government. But I'm not writing it on Instagram or Grok now. So here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. The government saying we don't want any of these guardrails. Why? Because we already made a law. It was, I think, the military, what is this called? AI governance law that says DoD Directive 3009 requires that all autonomous weapon systems be designed so that commanders and operators be able to exercise appropriate level of human judgment over the use of force, and the political declaration on military use of AI launched in the U.S. government and endorsed by 50 states enshrines this principle. So they're saying, oh, yeah, no, we already have a law, Anthropic. You don't have to worry about it. We have a law that stops us from just using AI from blanket destruction. Don't worry about it. We already took care of it. And then we already have another law, 5240, that says prohibits intelligence components from collecting information on U.S. persons except under specific legal authorities such as FISA or Title 50, which is, some emergency act. So they're like, oh, yeah, we already have these laws, so you don't have to worry about it. And Anthropic is saying, oh, yeah, these laws are great. It's like a contract on how you can use our software. We just want a copy of that contract. We want to just put that in our policy. The same thing. Anthropic's acceptable use policy reflects the same line And until the Pentagon formally renounces, clarifies, and updates these policies positions, the big question is whether the company can be compelled out of a policy that the government itself has committed to in principle. Whoa, what does that mean? You can take it off. Well, you can take it off. That means that we agreed to something. And you're saying, yes, you will do it. You will not spy on your citizens using our software. But that agreement, I can't give you a copy of. Sorry, I'll keep it. But just trust me. Oh, yes, we will not build weapons to kill people without at least seeing the people and making sure that those are the people that we want to kill. And I think a lot of this came about because Anthropic found out that their software was used in some way during the Maduro raid, which the government said that they were not going to use, but they did, whatever. So that's where we're at with it. Let me know if you're team Anthropic, if you're team Pentagon, if your team doesn't matter. I'm still going to just use it either way. I don't know. What do you think? Should there be guardrails? Now, here's one thing that I want to show you guys, right? Like, so if you're all like team government and you're thinking to yourself, no, Dom, like we got to let these companies use it. Like I'm not, I don't really understand what the big deal is. Let me show you guys one thing, right? Where if I had to say, I could kind of see where what are they not telling us? I don't think they're telling us that this is a race. Oh, one thing that the Pete Hegseth said was that, man, you know, the cost of speed and the things that here we go. He said this. We must accept the risk. Let me highlight it for y'all. We must accept the risk of not moving fast enough outweighs the risk of imperfect alignment. Whoa, what does that mean? That means that, and then he went on to say diversity, equity, inclusion, and social ideology have no place in the Department of War. He didn't really need to say that. This has nothing to do with the DEI. This is just people being like, hey, we want guardrails. But why is he saying we just need to move faster? We need faster. And that's because I think he saw the same thing that I saw last week, which is China. Whoa. Has anybody been to China lately and seen what they're doing with AI? If you have not, let me show you. Let me show you. This is everything that we've seen with AI. It's been crazy. And then I saw this, and then I thought, is this AI? Is this fake? Is this real? China had a demonstration. The bottom here is, they do this festival every year showing off their new technology. The bottom here are robots that they built last year, 2025. Learn how to read if you don't. And then the top here is where the robots are in 2026. I'm just going to shut up and I'm going to tell you, if I am in charge of the Department of War and I see this, I'm calling everybody. They got kids out there. Y'all still with me? Okay, I'm going to pause it because I think you guys have seen enough. If you see that and you are an opposing country telling your citizens we are at the top of AI, we are leading the charge of AI, and then you see some nunchuck having robots, like you're like, and I'm thinking to myself, is that an AI video or is that real? Because if it's an AI video, it's still impressive, and if it's real, it's scary. Those things are doing backflips. I am 36 years old and I have not done a backflip. I have not learned how to do a backflip. I don't know how to do it. In the span of 1 year, you got 40 AI robots up there doing backflips, cartwheels, and jumping off the wall. They have trained these things to Bruce Lee. The most lethal hands this world has ever seen has been injected into the Chinese AI robots. Are we in trouble, folks? Or is this thing the hope that we have for the human race? Don't act up, or them robots will come for you. And or am I being psychotic? What I am going to tell you, I'm sorry if that's even racist, but what I am going to tell you is that we have not seen American robots like this. What have we seen? We've seen little American dog like robots walking around. Oh, that's impressive. This thing will destroy a dog robot. They will walk that dog robot. And I'm sorry if I'm being too passionate. I'm sorry if you have not seen this. I'm sorry if I have enlightened you to what's coming. Be prepared, folks. This is the future. AI robots is freaking blowing my mind right now. Freaking blowing my mind. So I can see why they're panicking. They're like, take off the guardrails. China doesn't have guardrails. They have nunchucks with them right now. And I'm going to end on this. But what happens when you put the AR, when you put the Glock Nizzy? I don't know how to say 9 in Chinese, but they probably got a Glock 10 at this point, the way their technology is going. I don't know. I'm not a gun person. But I think we're seeing what's that Iron Man in real life, and we're not even appreciating it. You're still going to just go to work and grab your latte, whatever. But what did I use AI for this weekend? Right, not to build the robot, but I did use it to get a couple grants, and let me show you that. Hold on, guys. Let me let me show you what I did use AI for, because I'm on the Anthropic side on some of this. Share. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I used AI this weekend to, if you're in the Ask Domnat All Access community, where we're going to be uncovering some more of these conversations, it is free to the first 100 users. We still have not hit that benchmark yet, but that's because I think you guys get me for free here too. So double dose of Dom. So what I did was, we have a grant organizer. If you are a business, if you want to start a business, if you have a friend with the business, the grant organizer helps with putting your business priorities, objectives, blah, 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 everything helps you. This is just 3 pages of that grant organizer book, but I used Anthropic, an amazing model, this is right now still secure, from to help me with putting together my project baseline and all of this, right? And then what did I do? I went to I'm going to just double click this, duplicate. I went to my All Access community. And then I was like, you know what? Let me show you guys how I use this in real life. I went to my resources. I went to my grant list. And if this opens up, I went to my state grants, and I opened up, my farm is out of New Jersey. So I opened up a state grant out of New Jersey. I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. That's what the All Access community is about. And then I realized that there is this grant that we put in here for you guys for up to $50,000 if you have a business out of New Jersey. If you don't have a business out of New Jersey, I have for all 50 states and other localities across the USA. So I came here. It's a first come, first serve app. I went through here and I used my AI agent to help me apply, and really my chatbot more than agent. You'll know the difference once you get into the community. But I helped me apply for, I didn't ask for the entire 50,000, it was like 20 something thousand. But now we're just waiting on the decision. But we have a really strong application. But hopefully here with the small business improvement grant, you just come here, apply here. I'm already applied, so I don't necessarily need to go in and show you guys all that all that personal information. But even if you're not in the community, use this. If you're interested in more grants and how to apply for these grants, definitely join the All Access community, because not only did I apply for it, what did I decide to do? I decided to record part of the course that we have here is my grant proposal, where I walk through the application, what I wrote. Let me put it in here. All of this, and I say what I wrote very generously because it's my AI bot that helped me write it. But I go through the entire application with you guys and see if I can get an extra little $20,000 here in the next couple months. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in growing your business, if you're interested in learning how to get grants, you know what you have to do. You have to join the All Access community, Ask Domnat All Access. The link is at the bottom of the show here. You can find it also at askdomnat.com. Honestly, if you use the internet, you can find the link. It is free to the first 100 people. Take all the resources that are in there. That we have the real estate investing course. We have the startup roadmap. You guys know that I've done government contracts. We have a government contracting section. Speaking of Department of Defense, I've done contracts with them. I go through some of those here in some videos as well. So this is just a community if you are serious about taking your business, your goals, your vision, your passion, your dream to the next level. And if you are, then I know that I will see you here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the Ask Domnat show, the fastest 30 minutes of your day to make you an overall more informed person. My name is Robot Dom, but you might know me as Dom.